Oh,
just
she's
go.
a professional.
She's a professional.
She's a professional.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you host it?
It's not my show. I'm not on that fly.
She came. I don't know
saw.
what she did.
She conquered.
She conquered.
Where's the Celsius? One last sip
Winston
and I'm ready.
Church. Nope.
Oh, is it over there?
I
Sandra,
love
can I have
traffic
some
lights.
Celsius? Anyone, doesn't matter. Aries,
I've always
Capricorn,
said
room?
the remote control vibrating butt plug is the best way to control somebody.
This
That is
true.
like the third time she's mentioned this in the podcast. I think we should.
It never made the cut.
So,
Well, then maybe you need to like research the company and say, I keep mentioning these, so sponsor us.
We're looking for a sponsor.
Yeah.
I would like vibrating
Butt plug.
notions.
Yeah.
Ooh, yay! Welcome to the podcast.
Yay!
Willkommen, bienvenidos, bienvenue.
Oh.
That is very appropriate.
How
for
about
this.
Japanese?
Sayonara.
Oh, okay.
Nope, that's goodbye. I'm your host who once thought J-Lo was Jennifer Lopez's younger sister, Ben Jacob. Woo! Insert audience clap. And this is my co-host who's more fertile than a greenhouse full of zucchini plants. Thought of that myself. Monique Ramirez.
The shade is real.
I know, but you can see it, like the zucchini plant. I mean, come on, the visuals.
Help me.
Don't sit. And this is...
Who's Dead from your favorite movie?
Bring out your dead. Bring out your dead. What's that from? Bring out your dead.
Oh, see, I don't know anything about
Monty
that.
Python?
Terry Gilliam.
Oh, see, that sounds like spirits
That's a
and conjuring
man.
up things.
That's okay. How about let the seance begin?
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
with that.
Can you get with
I'm
that?
with that.
Can
I
we
get
thumbs
with that?
that?
Yeah, we can. We're
I
gonna
tore
snap
my-
that.
We're going to
Snaps
snap
for
it,
that.
snap it back.
Snaps for that.
And joining us today is a special guest actor, host, and entertainer extraordinaire, Tony Moore.
Ma'am.
Tony, I'm so happy to have you in the house.
You know, it's so happy to be had. So thank you guys for having me.
I expected
it.
nothing less out of your mouth.
I mean, listen, let me tell you, there's no telling what's going to come out of this mouth.
Well, that's why you're here. And hey, we talk about your favorite movie. It would be this is so fun because
This is?
we've been you and me a lot, and we have a guest now. But we talk about your favorite movie and your favorite movie, and it's beloved dead actors.
Oh.
Who died in the cast?
Who had done died in
In
the
the
cast?
cast, and now they're in a casket.
Oh, no.
Or they're in a capsule that's sent into space. You can pay for that.
Oh, you can pay for that. You can pay for anything.
It's not just a capsule in space, but it's also like you can do mummified, like in a tomb. You ever wonder how like you can be born into a womb and then you end up in a tomb? It was a thought. It was like one of my deep thoughts that I had. You remember deep thoughts?
I mean, I always have deep thoughts. That thought sounds like one where, like, maybe you were sitting on the toilet doing number 2 and thought, we come from the womb.
She files her nails and forgets where she's at when she's sitting.
How dare you? I don't file my nails. They get done for me.
Monique, do you have any other fun facts you want to mention about interesting things that people do for
Oh my
funerary
God.
services?
Good. I have
or-
a million facts. Thank you so much. Okay. There's.
I'm gonna
there
take the
is
glasses
something.
off. I wanna
Okay,
see you
there
all.
is there is something that I found. Okay, when you were talking about the womb in the tomb.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so check this
Womb
out.
in the tomb.
Well, speaking of hair and the womb in the tomb, so in the Victorian era, they used to put hair jewelry on to mourn their loved ones.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you think
So
about
it's
that?
I love a good
mourning jewelry crafted from human hair became a poignant way to honor deceased loved ones. The practice gained prominence after Queen Victoria mourned her husband, Prince Albert. And that, it was named after him.
This is why we pulled this fact up
Okay.
Yeah.
ultimately.
This is 1861, so she's back in the day. And so this popularized it popularized that sentimental keepsake. So let's see what it says.
So wait,
What-
I mean, I feel like,
You like?
yeah, I mean, that begs the question of, like, how would you like to be mourned? Like, what would you want the girls to do?
I'm already having hair issues with the centipede on me. I don't know if I'm on my hair all over everybody.
How would you like to be mourned?
Um,
Remembered. Memorialized.
you know what? This is going to sound really bad.
Good.
Like, typically, like, people do the funerals and all that kind of stuff. I don't want any of that. Like, just cremate me and just, like, go about your day.
That doesn't sound bad at all because you're an introvert,
I
sort
mean,
of.
well, because I feel like I feel like this. I feel like if you didn't make time for me while I was alive, don't make time for me while I'm
He
dead.
shades in death.
I'm
He
just
shades
saying.
in
I'm just
death.
saying. Like, don't plan to attend my funeral when you didn't make that lunch. Like,
Wow. But I understand.
right. You were too
Wow.
busy for lunch, but now you're going to sit at the funeral and cry and be like, oh, I wish I had. No, you could have.
know,
Give my family money at least.
Right.
Just do something.
It's like the funeral's for them. It's not for you. You're
Right.
like, I don't
The
even need you.
funeral is never about the dead person, just like a
No.
wedding. And that's what we do. We sit in the second to the back row of the funeral. That's literally this podcast.
I will allow those who want to mourn in their own way, do whatever you feel like is best. However, I don't need the hoopla. Like,
He was
You
the
know.
first
However,
guest.
grammatically correct
Yeah.
shade.
I
Listen.
mean,
He was our most viral podcast, and he was our first guest on it, and we were so happy to have him.
I mean,
and
I'm
he
just
made
saying,
us money.
like, you can wear a jewel if you want, but like, girl, cremate me and
Prince
like,
Albert,
sure, if that works.
can
What
I
about,
show everybody?
You know how people wear their cremated loved ones as
Oh
necklaces?
yes. Don't carry me around with you. I don't need to. I don't need to see everything.
You want to go. You don't want to be held
I
here.
want to go.
Yeah.
Now, if I want to be petty, like sprinkle some of my ashes at specific places, so that way I continue to haunt it.
Oh, may I?
You can.
The specific place would
Mother.
be. Tell me the specific places.
Me?
Yeah.
You. This is where my pettiness
Here it
comes
is.
in.
Here it is. I'm ready. I'm taking notes. I'm ready.
You can't with those names.
I have spent over a decade at a lovely establishment in WeHo called Mickey's.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when
and-
it burned down?
I was there before it burned down, so it had.
I don't know why we're high fiving.
It was already in the ashes by the time I landed
Exactly.
in LA.
That's why we're high fiving.
But like, my petty ass would just sprinkle me there, so every now and then while someone's dancing, I can come in and be like, ooh.
Yes,
just like knocking shit over, like so
Like,
petty.
Well, this is my dead uncle's necklace.
Oh,
And the
Is it
last time
really?
I thought about him, besides wearing this necklace, is when we went to visit the bullet in the tree after he had his accident. So,
Oh, girl.
on that note, we. Thank you very much.
that was for your uncle.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you, uncle.
Miss.
This is a safe space to talk about weird shit, so
It
it's
is.
okay.
Obviously,
Yeah.
obviously, this is a very safe space. We're gonna have to bless this space in a moment. Actually, hold on. Let me say a prayer over this water, dear baby Jesus. Please pray over this show. Amen. Let me just put a little bit over.
Just sprinkle.
Someone's gonna be in
Sprinkle it.
handcuffs
Gonna
today.
catch on fire.
So let's talk about movies.
Yes.
That's why we're all here.
Yes.
Specifically one, but our special guest,
Mm-hmm.
Tony Moore, has picked one of his favorite movies. Can you tell us which one of those movies it is?
My favorite movie is The Devil Wears Prada.
Yes.
I don't know why
I don't.
I Michael Chekhov an
why.
animal.
She hissed either.
I
Tell
love that movie. I love that movie so much.
Oh.
The fashion, of course, but Meryl Streep. Can we?
Can we give a minute?
She was a handsome woman in that.
But she can do no wrong. Like any movie you watch of her, you never see Meryl Streep. You always see the character that she's portraying. So in this movie, you see her as Miranda Priestley. In like She-Devil, you see her as Madeline Fisher, as like Roseanne would say.
Yes.
In Silkwood, you saw her as like you never see her as Meryl. You always get so like into this world.
Captivated.
This
Yeah.
Can I do
character-
it? Can I
What
do it?
his character
Yes.
she's created.
Doom, ba-doom, doom, 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 boom, ba-doom,
There it
doom.
is.
See, I did the music for you, therefore
you.
you don't have to pay for
That
it.
was
There-
porn
there-
music.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate
If you were to be one character,
So there is one thing about
Miranda.
there is one
Obviously.
thing I got about Meryl Streep
Yes.
with that is she did apparently she has different acting styles. She went total method on that film.
She did.
And
I
she
did
said
method for
she
7
was
years. Awful.
miserable. She said she was
Awful.
miserable the
Yes.
whole time.
and she
Yes.
kept herself in her trailer, and she
Yes.
would hear everybody having fun outside, which was part of the. And it was.
Yeah.
Did you notice she had red in her eyes all the time?
Like she was crying all the time. It
or
was
she
like
was rage, or there was. I mean,
Yeah,
she had
I noticed that.
she had suffering behind her eyes, even
Probably.
in the simplest scenes.
Yeah. But it was such a calm rage, right?
I know nothing about that.
I love hearing the interviews where she says she never raised her voice. It was always just very calm, but yet like kind of a tone.
Like it is sharp, like
yeah.
I'm gonna try this role play sometime.
The
You should.
snake that's coming.
Because
Gotcha.
sometimes you don't have to yell. Sometimes the calmest tone can be the shadiest tone.
It's like that parental thing where it's like, so that's the choice that you made.
Oof.
Exactly.
Oof.
So instead of being like, "Ugh, that's what you're gonna wear," see, it's
Like,
totally different.
That's
It's
almost
like
funny.
That's one way to go.
it's like you look at it and you're like, "Okay, I mean, if you like it, I love it."
So we brought the Shade Queen with us.
It's the calculatedness of it
It
is
is.
what makes it
Very
scary.
calculated. Yes.
That's-
She's also in the vein of like I know we're talking about movies, but Claire Huxtable from the Cosby
Claire
Show.
Huxtable. Oh,
Just the queen of shade, but
Gorgeous
the calmest
character.
of shade. Never like with a neck roll or a finger wave. It was just very calm and
Ooh.
direct.
See, now we thought we didn't have many deaths in this one. R.I.P. Cosby.
Oh.
Monique, can you tell us a little breakdown of this movie? She won't get into it.
oh, okay.
Monique.
I'll bring us
You
back.
better break us down.
Let me give us to the movie. So, The
She
Devil
doesn't
Wears
need to
Prada.
read this. She already knows it. She's like the film buff.
It was directed by a man. That's fine. David
We
Frankel.
don't know. David Frankel.
Written by Aline Brosh McKenna. And it's
What'd
based
you call me?
on the book by Lauren Weisberger, which she based it on her experiences working as
That name Weisberger.
for someone particular,
Mm-hmm.
for a very particular woman that this film is clearly based
About.
on.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
We could say her name.
What's her name?
Miss Anna Wintour.
Oh, Miss Anna Wintour.
Yes.
She's fabulous.
She is.
Y'all-
But we got a glimpse of her in this movie, though.
Y'all, I have a little story about her, a little bit.
About Anna Wintour?
A
Yeah,
little,
we've
let's-
got a
just a
story.
little
Did you meet
mini one.
her?
I didn't meet her. So
Okay.
when the film came out,
Yes.
I started my career. I know I was a baby at that exact same time, so I was kind of like Andy in a way.
Oh, you were a little Andy.
I was a little Andy, and now she's Miranda. But she's
Oh. How we've grown.
I'm Andy before,
we
right?
have-
I know how to dress.
Here's the shoe cam with the stilettos. So I'm with her,
Uh-huh.
right? And I was a couple of weeks in my Hollywood assistant job,
Mm-hmm.
learning the ropes, rolling calls the same way, freaked out, like how to talk to agents and the people that would call in.
Mm-hmm.
So my bosses were well-known writer, director, producers,
Mm-hmm.
and we got a call one day from a gal with some sort of accent that I couldn't place. It seemed English, I'm not sure. And it was, Miss Anna would like to invite the guys to this gala, blah, 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 New York. I'm furiously writing it down. Okay, yeah, great.
Can you spell
Anna?
Wintour?
No, they just
It's like
said,
dinosaur.
they
without the
just
game.
said Anna.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, Anna who? And the girl hung up the phone. I heard the clang clang.
Can you spell Gabbana?
I heard the clang clang. It was like, kapah, and I was like, oh, I fucked up. What happened? And I ran to one of the creative executives, a New York woman. I was like, I don't know what just happened. This happened. I explained to her, and she's like, it's Anna Wintour's office. they're assholes.
You are totally that scene of like when she was like
Anyone.
she asked for skirts and there was books and there was a pier.
Something about a pony.
Yes.
Something about
That was very you.
I am just constantly convinced that Anna Wintour is a clone of herself in every image that I see.
Maybe.
I mean, she could be. It's got the glasses and the
yeah.
wig.
If you had the money, I mean, why don't you do a clone of yourself?
Yeah, you do your own PR. Have
Well,
somebody
would
else
you?
do the PR.
Oh, wait, I want to, Tony's thinking about it.
She's
Maybe
busy.
he wouldn't do a clone.
You know.
If your last name is Wintour, just think about it.
But like,
I don't know.
if you could,
I don't know if I would clone. I don't know if I would clone myself. I tell you what I would want.
Oh,
I would wanna go over to Ms. Viola Van Horn and get that serum so that I can drink
well,
and live forever.
here's the thing about this movie. We think everybody was taking that serum
Apparently
because this is a healthy damn cast. Let's talk about the dead actors in this. There really aren't any.
this is a healthy cast, you
As
guys.
of February 2025, there are no dead actors. Anything can happen during the podcast. This is an
true.
ever-evolving
This
list.
is true.
No
We
shade.
got-
It's just shit happens.
got TMZ on
And
lock.
we kind of
Yes,
have
okay.
this thing. We kind of have this thing every time we talk about a movie. All of a sudden, there's a headline like 3 days later. I don't know why.
Are we angels of death?
Let me sprinkle
Oh my God.
I mean, I grew up.
I'm sorry, podcast one. It's just water. It'll dry up.
She's
I brought-
blessing the room.
I brought an urn and she didn't let me. This is a healthy cast, but the most notable death is somebody who was involved in post-production, very famous person. We also have a lot of the fashion designers that were mentioned. They were actually mentioned in the movie, so those are the ones we're going to address.
Okay.
And then there's a couple of sides, because we got to be extra, that we're going to mention. And
We got some people, but with the big one is
she's always got to go to the big one.
I say that
Is Miss Zucchini Plant Greenhouse?
she wants.
I don't know where I
she
came
wants
up with
twins.
Miss Cucumber 2025.
That'll make a big one, having twins be pushed out.
I started so classy.
When you turn 30 like you are, you
It
got to
went
start
downhill.
thinking about these things.
Right.
Fast. So the big notable death is, I think, the quiet geniuses in filmmaking, the editor. Oh, the magic happens there.
Yes.
So our editor, that's our first death, is Mark. Gosh, I hope I say this right.
Livolsi.
Livolsi?
Yeah.
Livolsi.
Okay.
Huge
R.I.P.
resume.
Oh.
Very private. So that's why it's hard to know how to say his name. He's a very private person.
Well, because he wasn't
editor.
expecting to be mentioned on a podcast.
I mean,
With
no,
Meryl Streep.
listen, let me go down the line of what he has done.
When did he die?
Oh, you do it. You talk
I
about
want
it.
to say when he
Actually,
died.
I want to talk about him.
So when you have a death date, real quick question, and you die on a certain death date, are you now a Virgo dying?
No.
You know you say rising, but you're now a Virgo dying? Okay.
No.
No?
Well, let's make that up.
We don't
That's-
change.
That's just no. You don't change. You how can you? You did.
Your zodiac death?
Like
That's
you
true.
don't all of a sudden go to heaven and they go, we know you were born a Capricorn, but you died a Virgo. no one's gonna do that. Like
Tony,
you know,
where do you
just
go
are
when
who
you
are.
die?
Where do you go?
Where do you go? Or where do
Listen,
you go?
I don't know.
Victor Hugo.
I will tell you this. Hell is already on earth, so please don't send me to hell in death. Like, let me frolic through some like fields and just eat as much as I want and don't have to worry about a waistline or anything.
That sounds like walking out the back door of Mickey's. So Mark, he died
That's a whole
September.
different back door.
He died September 23rd, 2018. So this is a recent death, and his cause of death is undisclosed.
He didn't want y'all to know. He said, baby, I'm just the editor.
You know what?
Y'all don't need to know all
He's
that.
just like, I don't want these
Right.
people to know.
He's like, don't put me in the memorandum room.
Remember that Oscar
Memorandum.
Yeah.
thing?
You
And-
ain't got to remember me.
I mean, he died in Pasadena, so he's good. You know, it's beautiful there.
It
And
is
he was 56 years old. Now that
Oh,
part,
now that's young.
now that's a little young.
No.
Yeah, that is young.
Yeah, that's why I kind of want to know what he died from. It's like,
Right.
can I avoid that thing?
Oh.
So,
Bless
you know what I'm
him.
saying? So, anything you want to say about
Well,
him,
his
film
resume.
editor?
You guys, look at everything that he did. Like,
What'd he do?
He
John
did
Clay book.
everything. He edited The Lion King, the new
Oh,
one.
he died right before that came out.
Wonder, but he finished it.
Oh, he finished
The
it.
Jungle Book,
We
the
had to get
Saving
paid.
Mr. Banks. Well, we bought
He
a
had to pay
suit.
for his funeral. That's why he finished it.
Is that what it
I'm
is?
saying.
The Blind Side, Marley and Me, Fred Claus, The Devil Wears Prada, Wedding Crashers, Pieces of April, Vanilla Sky. Oh my God, that's just as an editor. Before he worked as an assistant editor on
Oh.
A ton of stuff.
million.
And we're moving
from
on
the
up.
River Wild, the Thomas Crown Affair.
I wonder
that's Midtown.
if he was in charge of editing the fabulous fashion montage of Andy.
I was going to
Oh,
bring this up
Yes,
to you.
yeah, he
Oh,
was the
I-
editor.
How much do you love the montages?
The
Like,
first of all, the montage
Brilliant.
is everything.
Yes.
Like I feel like
everything.
like I would love
It's a
to recreate that. Like have like the
All
right
we gotta-
fashions
oh, right.
and just
I probably pulled my
now
headphones
some
down.
of that I cannot fit. I am a plus size woman.
We
like
have scissors. And what did they say in the movie? Like Crisco and
Fishing line.
Crisco,
Fishing
fishing
line.
line, you'll be right in it. But that montage is so iconic of just a typical walk, and then it's just like a click of like a different outfit. Like it's
So good.
How about the other montage with the throwing the bag and the jacket?
Oh yes,
On the computer.
yes, that's
Oh,
yes.
Is it, why
That's
is
just,
Yes.
it so impossible? Did you
The
give me
desk.
make me what was that? Give me that paper that was in my hand
oh
yesterday.
yeah.
I made her
I had
British.
that paper. Where's that paper that I had in my hand yesterday?
At that restaurant, I like
It's
from
just-
the. brilliant. He was
I like to-
definitely in charge of that because he was the editor.
The main editor?
for the film.
I always try to find something weird or scandalous or whatever about somebody in their passing. I really couldn't find anything. So a stretch was he was associated with Disney movies. So there's something weird about that. Nothing cool.
No, are you telling me he was a wonderful, beautiful man and he died at 56?
Who put the penis in Little Mermaid, by the way, on the cover?
It wasn't him.
He didn't do that.
Not
one.
him,
That-
not him.
It
Who
was
did
not
that?
him.
Someone did it.
Someone. Who
And
was-
it's laughing
everybody
to
knows what
this
I'm
day.
talking. Yeah, it's what to this day?
Someone's laughing to this day about that. They were
Weird.
like, I can't believe I got that in.
Nope. well.
I'm here all day.
Well, only until about 1. This
is true.
We're on a schedule.
Yep.
So there's Mark. He had all these movies. He was wonderful.
Let's see what else about him.
Yeah, what else do you want to say about him?
It was just that he was.
It's the Lion King thing.
that
I
he-
thought was the most interesting. That he
Yeah.
had just finished it right before.
The live
okay.
action movie.
Yes.
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 The one that came out in 2019.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then another death is that of Adrian Grenier's on-screen love life for most women.
Oh.
Because he played that character, probably correctly,
Mm-hmm.
as somebody you do not want to save.
Okay, that was a stretch.
I thought
We'll
so.
give it to you.
I would come on.
We'll let you
I
have
mean,
that.
he
Jeff.
tried.
annoyed
He did all this research to make a fabulous podcast, and
Yeah.
that's what he came up with.
Oh, that's bless your heart.
Let her.
That is very much a bless your heart
It is,
moment.
isn't it?
Yeah.
She turned down the editor-in-chief New York Times just to go see him and have him get mad at her and go to bed. She had to make her own wish for him on her cupcake.
Listen,
Whatever.
I'm just
It
saying.
annoyed me.
I am annoyed with the end that he.
There were two endings.
Where she's like, you were right, and I was yelling, no, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
He was
About
trying
what?
To,
He's
he
like,
was trying to keep you in a box a little bit. But
Yeah, he was like the thing
Per
about
box.
the thing about it. He was trying to keep the familiarity of their relationship,
Right.
And there was like this balance in it. And I think as she progressed in her career, it became an imbalance a little bit, and
yeah.
But also with that, she forgot the importance of like things in her life,
I gotta
and it
write this down.
became so much
I gotta write
about
this down.
Miranda and Runway and that she kind of lost herself.
I could see
Wow,
that.
that was
I
poignant.
see
Yeah.
that. That was really
Wow.
poignant.
That was no shade, Adrian Deere. You can come out of your home in Texas and come onto this podcast. It's just it's the character.
That's
Never
what.
been
That's
much of a
where I
fan.
related because that when I said I was like her, I had that happen. I
Yeah.
had actually had a very lovely boyfriend at the time, and
How lovely is he now?
well, he's brilliant. He was at the time a Cal Arts guy.
Mhm.
And that same thing. When I was actually succeeding, we broke up because I was so consumed with work. Literally would get the call.
Mm-hmm.
I loved who I worked with, but it was still all consuming. I
Yeah.
would get the call on the weekend. Why didn't I pick up the phone?
Yeah, yeah.
So I understand that
That's why you're
there is a
all-consuming.
balance.
It's like the bouncy ball.
There
You know when
is
you
a
jump into the thing in McDonald's and it's like all balls around. It's just overstimulation. That's all I hear.
All I hear is that you
Oh,
just have
something
to
about balls.
fit balls. in
There's
there.
also
But-
the fashion
Wait,
journalist.
so
Yes.
let's you said something about career though.
What did he say?
Career?
Oh.
A career woman that you're
Yes.
a career.
Yeah.
Can,
Let's go. Don't tell mom babysitter's dead.
well,
I'm right on top of that, Rose.
Oh,
since we're going to be talking about, some fashion people, first let's hear a little bit more from Tony.
Yes.
We want to hear more about your career.
who you wearing?
And,
Oh.
and who, yeah. And let's hear more about your career. And also, how is this, you're in the industry, how has
Yeah.
this movie
This
affected
is his
you?
career.
Well, first, do I answer the question about who I'm wearing?
Who you wearing?
Ma'am.
Let me tell you.
Oh,
this.
she's sitting down.
Hold on.
Oh,
I gotta get this.
here. Okay, here we go.
I love.
Are we all putting on glasses?
I
Here we
love
go.
that they feel like this is about to be a fashion moment, but this is about to be a gag.
Then I'll put two on.
This entire outfit is Forever 21.
Hell no.
Get into it.
Amazing.
We went to the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, and I kept calling it the Forever 21
She
Cemetery.
kept calling it Forever 21.
I still do.
No.
Yes,
no.
she did.
Hollywood,
I went
Hollywood
shopping.
Forever.
Yes,
Not
she
Forever
did.
21, but Hollywood Forever. No,
It looks fantastic.
I love Forever 21. I call it like my little boutique because I feel like a lot of men don't shop Forever 21 because they think it's a female store. But I have a lot of good pieces from Forever 21.
Please sponsor us.
Yes.
Please.
Please sponsor me.
Please sponsor him.
You can. Let's just
Little-
give a little.
Did you, all I saw was you doing this. I
You
was
know
like,
I agree. One thing I learned from several stylists
Mm-hmm.
and one costume designer is they said, "Listen, look at. You've got to not look at the label. You
Yeah.
really don't look at how it's made. Look at the design.
what's that thing where the most successful men or the richest people, they don't buy a suit that's more than $400?
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know who said that. Somebody poor.
But also,
Listen, you have a good eye though. I
yes.
love this.
I do.
We love your eyes.
Thank you.
But tell us
Close
now.
up.
How'd you start as an actor?
I started in at my family's barbecues.
Always at the cookouts.
Well, but originally before I wanted to be an actor, I wanted to be a singer. And so I would sing.
Really?
Yes.
Hit an A sharp right now.
Yeah, no, I can't, and that's why I'm not pursuing singing. But I wanted to be a singer. I always
A minor.
No idea what that is. And I was in band, so can't even play that for you.
What instrument?
I was on the drum line. So I was
Of course
percussion.
you were.
Yeah,
Tony,
yeah.
I play drums.
Did you?
Yeah.
I only hit on 1 and 4. That's it.
Okay.
Don't ask me to do anything
Did-
else.
okay.
Just 1, 2, 3, 4. 1,
Were you a
2,
tom
3,
player?
4,
Or-
1.
I'll
That's it.
hit the cymbals in between
Yeah,
for you. Okay.
yeah, exactly. I'll do a
love
little
it.
flash with the cymbals.
And
That was
even if
my
you don't
life.
have symbols.
Yeah, it still giving you flair. Where do you think all this came from? But no, I used to sing for my family. Any chance I got, I used to put on like full-on concerts for them.
Oh.
Whether
Get
it
out.
was Earth Day, Father's Day, Mother's
Earth
Day,
Day.
Wednesday,
Arbor
like,
Day.
Yeah, I would perform, and I would. At the time, remember the program Printmaster, so that you could make like your own invitations and stuff and print them out. I would make a
I
program.
do.
No, you didn't.
I did. I made a program of the songs that I was going to perform. I had costume changes, and my grand finale was always "Proud Mary" by Tina Turner.
Oh.
Yeah.
We love Tina.
Yeah,
She's dead.
Yeah, yeah.
She-
R.I.P. Tina.
Tina Turner.
Yeah.
She's a Buddhist.
Legend. Yeah.
She's a Buddhist. There's a picture of her right outside the studio.
There's a couple pictures
there
of her.
is. We'll show
Is
you.
it? I missed
There
that.
is. We'll show you.
Okay, you gotta show me.
Tina
Yes, yes,
Turner's
yes.
in the. She's
Yes.
in here now.
Yes.
'cause
She's in
Yes,
here
she
now.
is. Yes. Oh, did y'all bring her in here?
I'm loving this printed out there. We should do like a little, when they give you like a pamphlet, what is it called when you go to a funeral? It's like here's the order of ceremony. We should do that
Yes.
for our guests.
Oh, you should.
Here's the
An
reception.
obituary.
We should-
Obituary.
We're coming to that.
Huh.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Who was your
Wait,
favorite
but-
parent at these cookouts?
My favorite parent.
He's gonna
Or
send
in
one-
general, who
he's
supported
gonna
your
send
singing
the parent
career.
to the grave right now by saying that you don't have to answer
no,
that.
but no, my parents were very supportive,
Ugh,
and they
who's your
watched.
favorite?
They watched everyone. No, I'm gonna tell you who wasn't a fan of mine.
Oh.
But I appreciate her for keeping it real. My 5th grade teacher, Mrs. White, she told me. She said
She's on blast.
She said you should stick to acting, and I said, "You're right. You're probably right." So thank you, Mrs. White. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have veered into acting.
She just made me mad.
But
Don't
you know
be
what?
mad.
Everything there's
He could have been in
everyone
the
sent
Super
you a
Bowl.
journey. So then, what sent you from the bar? Oof, she takes a minute.
You
That's,
got the vapors.
that's Mrs. White
Well,
coming
that's
in.
Evan Williams. Do you want us to give
Somebody's
you?
coming in, honey.
We give you a higher end.
So what took you from that to where you are now?
Where I am?
What's some of your favorite gigs that got you that really?
Oh man.
I won't say turned you
So
out, but
when I was
Oh. Inside out.
these gigs that turned me out, honey. When I was younger, living in South Carolina, I have to thank our local educational station who got me my start. I was just making random phone calls, being like, "Hi, my name is Tony Moore. I'm a local actor.
I love
Could
this
you
so
use
much.
anyone?"
you're hustling.
Yeah,
you have to.
Oh my God, Miss Jackie Johnson at SEETV.
Jackie, that's the name.
Yes.
Oh, I love her.
SETV.
typed it. She
SETV.
typed it. She
Yes.
goes, SETV. She doesn't remember the radio station she worked at.
Oh no! But she was the one that got my start, and I did a couple of things with them,
Okay.
and she was like, "Oh, you're gonna be the next Denzel." Yeah.
Wow. Did you ever audition for American Idol, even though the singing thing was?
Oh gosh, no.
Okay.
No. By then I realized singing was not for me, and I was not about to be one of those bad auditions. No.
No, ma'am.
No. I mean, I would have made great television. However, I do not want to be a part of like the bad audition thing.
Again, we are a grammatical
Yeah.
group here.
Oh, I love this. We're gonna go dig in a little bit more with you. You know, we're gonna rob your grave.
Okay.
As we go throughout.
Let's get back to the film, but
Because you might have something to say about
but while
this.
we get back to the movie, we've got to lead in with Tony's favorite scene.
My favorite scene. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I love that.
There are so many.
I like when she cries. Go ahead.
I think it's
Don't make him cry.
my favorite scene is definitely the explanation of Cerulean.
Oh yes, of course.
Yes.
Did you have that memorized?
stuff?
Oh no! Oh gosh, no. I feel like I have a little bit of it. She's like.
She laughs first. First of all,
First
it's a Snickers.
It's like the two
Sides?
belts, and it's like
Yeah.
they're so different. And she's like, okay, hold on.
Are we pulling this up?
hell
Let's see.
no.
Let's
We're
see
pulling.
what
That's it.
is.
That's it. We're pulling it up. That's it. We're pulling it up. It's happening.
I like when she said, "I'm going to look for you at several blimpies."
You know what? I didn't ever really catch that before until one of the more recent times.
I have an Emily Blunt story, but we'll save it for.
Oh.
Oh.
Gosh, I like
Where's
Emily
Pat?
Blunt. This stuff. Oh. Okay. I see. You think this has nothing to do with you. You go into your closet and you select out, I don't know, that lumpy blue sweater, for instance, because you're trying to tell the world you take yourself too seriously to care about what you put on your back. But what you don't know is that sweater is not just blue. It's not turquoise. It's not lapis. It's actually cerulean. You're also blindly unaware of the fact that in 2002, Oscar de la Renta did a collection of cerulean gowns, and I think it was Yves Saint Laurent, wasn't it, who showed cerulean military jackets? I think we need a jacket here.
Yes, I think it was.
And then cerulean quickly showed up in the collections of 8 different designers. Then it filtered down through the department stores and then trickled on down into some tragic casual corner where you no doubt fished it out of some clearance bin. However, that blue represents millions of dollars and countless jobs. And it's sort of comical how you think that you've made a choice that excerpts you from the fashion industry, when in fact you're wearing the sweater that was selected for you by the people in this room.
From a pile of stuff.
I don't know why this makes me want to take my clothes off. I'm just like,
I feel
It's
like
so sharp.
I feel like it's such a
She hated herself.
cutthroat, like moment of like Andy thinks fashion doesn't matter, and she thinks that what they're doing is silly. Like being like, oh, the belts are so different, which they are slightly different, but to her it's like it's a blue belt, put it on. To them, it's
Curing
make or
cancer.
break.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Really.
It's either going to make the outfit or kill the outfit. And to Andy, it's like, whatever. It's a blue belt. Just put one on. And in that moment, Miranda really puts it all together that these people in this room are making important decisions that make a mark.
Yes.
On the fashion world. You just went to your closet like, I don't care. I'm just going to put on the blue sweater. But like, there's so much that went into making that decision to make the sweater not blue but cerulean, to make it that color, to make it that look, to make it that size. Like, yeah.
There's
Professor, I have a question.
complexity.
Yes.
There's complexity to
did
it.
this scene make you gay?
Dear God, no. Andrew Keegan made me gay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did this scene make you gay?
I'm not gay.
I
I identify as cerulean.
gay. The fact that you called blue cerulean, gay.
Hello.
Actually, your entire perspective, even your entire dissection of that scene, does come from the perspective of somebody who, in real life, died that influenced this movie, who perhaps, as the character, was in the room during that time, and his name was André Léon Talley.
Oh, yeah.
What do you know? I feel like you're going to know something about this.
Let's go through his death dates. But here's one thing about André. We've got to say at the beginning, too.
Yes.
He did not want to be involved in this film at all. They asked him.
They asked him to audition, which is like,
I don't know
You
why.
want me to do what?
You want me to who's it?
Like
And then I don't get the part of me?
I wouldn't have. I would have read the room on that. You don't
That's a
ask him.
bad actor.
Right.
So definitely that was a bad move on their part. But he didn't want to be involved. But we have to mention him because he's so
Yeah.
iconic. You're familiar with
he's
him.
he's so
obviously.
influential in the
Was.
fashion world.
Yeah, still
He is.
is.
He still is. He still is.
Yeah.
I don't know much about
I don't
him.
know much.
Ben?
Okay, so
Yeah.
Andre, he died January 18th, 2022.
He died a Capricorn?
He died of Capricorn.
No, a heart attack. And that's his zodiac sign, heart attack.
I'm claiming him.
It's
Claim it.
because he
He's
died.
he's brilliant. I'm claiming the Capricorn.
It's
on
because
him.
he died in White Plains, New York. That's why. And he was 73 years old. Not a tragic meter isn't really
No,
that
it
odd.
is. That's my
Okay, it's very
daddy's age.
tragic. He was
No.
6'6", just like you.
I am 6'2".
I am not 6'1" then.
He was
My
a
shoes are clunky.
presence.
Yeah, he was very influential and very well known in the fashion industry.
And I'm so sorry he wasn't the editor in chief. He was the first. He
What
was
do we
the first African American male creative director in 1988 through 1995 and trailblazer in fashion. So for Vogue, and he was a major advocate for diversity. Which did you experience that in the film?
Okay, so I'm just gonna go straight.
She was in my ear
Hold
about
up.
this one.
Okay, so this is where she's
There were
putting
extras.
This is where she puts her hoop earrings on now. And okay,
That
so
one guy who served her in the hospital.
I love this movie. Okay, everyone in the room, I love this movie.
There's a but.
I didn't do it.
But there's a but, and it's not just mine.
It's big.
Y'all, where's the diversity? I don't see any Mexicans. I don't see anyone who's.
All I see are Mexicans.
I don't see anyone darker than this color in the movie. The casting.
I'm semi-Asian.
I am a little disappointed in the casting. Not there's no diversity at all. The most diverse is Giselle as a Brazilian. Tell me
And
who
Tracy
else.
Toms as one of Andy's
Yes,
friends.
Tracy. Oh, I love that you know.
Tracy-
That.
oh.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
Yes.
She was the one
Yes,
that read her
yes.
but
too.
in the fashion world.
But you just
Yeah.
said it. In the fashion world, like how much diversity is there in the fashion world? Like
Yeah, that was
if they're
cool.
keeping it real and
Yeah.
honest, like we have our Tyras, our Naomis,
Yeah.
and things like that. But like in the fashion world, it's very hard. Well, really, in the entertainment world, it's hard
Yeah.
for people of color. So if we had watched that and seen like all the colors of the rainbow, white, black, Mexican, Hispanic,
spotted
Asian,
lady
yeah,
who's
like
famous.
Willow.
Can you say that?
Is it Willow?
don't know
She
what you can't
she did. I don't remember her name. She redid Rue's Mac cover when he did
Oh.
that. Oh gosh, she's so lovely. We'll remember her name.
Yeah,
But
That
her.
dank girl who couldn't fit into the lift and she's suing him now says you have to say F slur for
But
fat
that-
now.
but-
So I don't know
But
what.
back to that. But
Yeah.
back to that.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
You're
so
right.
so it's
We would see it and go, "That's not real."
right. It's like
So there.
name a show where like you know what I mean, like so especially during that time
Girl,
as well. So
crickets.
I thought I'd take
Yeah.
a chance and pick the smart fat girl.
Girl, it's crickets. So I just still had to comment on it. You're right. And wonderful call on Tracy Thompson. Didn't want to focus on her too much because she's not dead. Don't want to confuse that. but
No,
she's
no.
absolutely
I
wonderful.
like her hair.
yeah,
She's absolutely wonderful.
He did act in Sex and the City though. Just
Who?
to
He?
bring it back to
Andre?
Andre.
Yeah, Andre.
Was he?
And he was a judge on America's Next Top Model.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love
that's-
that.
I like to
Yeah.
swivel.
Oh, I had
I
booth
thank you
is
so
not-
much
That's
for
what
this.
makes you
I
so
don't mean
gay.
to stomp on this conversation. So thank you very much for bringing that up. That was very important to him, and I feel like I don't know about the choice of Stanley Tucci playing him. Like maybe it's because they didn't want it to look like it was representing him because he came backlash about this. Anna Wintour would never throw her jacket like that. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
well,
you know,
someone that loyal would like, and who's been
and
through
afraid of their job. No.
it. Maybe, but I just feel like there's there. I respected that when I heard he didn't want to be involved. I'm like, oh, that's loyalty, and I love loyalty.
Do you have a Stanley Tucci cookbook?
No.
Okay, we'll get you one
Yes,
along with
okay.
your.
But he was
Peter
wonderful. But yeah, he was wonderful to play. So let's get to the actual fashion.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get to
Folks.
the fashion.
Who is dead?
So we got some people.
There's a lot of mentions of all the designers and then our famous fashion photographers, and many of those people have passed. So
So we call this the.
You say it.
We just had heart attack. I want to say it with you. Okay, I'll say it first.
You say it with Tony. Say it with Tony.
Oh, no, I don't even know what the name of it is.
Afterlife Atelier.
Afterlife Atelier?
Afterlife Atelier?
The Afterlife Atelier.
The Afterlife Atelier.
It's like a studio.
Afterlife
It's like the
Atelier.
studio. Okay, the runway to the grave. I'll come up with something later.
Or the runway to the grave.
So yes, these people were mentioned in The Devil Wears Prada, not Devil Wears Prada, and they're fashion designers, photographers, whatever. So Patrick Demarchelier. Remember when Patrick?
Oh, yes,
Get
Demarchelier.
Demarchelier on the phone with me.
No.
I got
On the
Patrick.
phone.
I have Patrick.
I have Patrick. So at 2045, and he died March 31st, 2022, and his cause of death is, I didn't write it down, and he died in St. Barthélemy, France, at 78 years old. I will be looking this up. He was the first personal portraitist of Princess Diana who was not British.
Oh, wow.
First professional.
Ma'am,
Okay.
what was that
Photographer.
word? Is that a portraitist?
Lobotomy.
That's what he got.
That's
It made
something
him the
different.
first non-British official royal photographer. So that's Patrick.
Next we have Yves Saint Laurent.
YSL, you got that cologne?
Nice.
Uh-uh.
No.
Yves
I don't
Saint
wear
Laurent.
cologne.
Oh, you don't?
Really?
No.
But you smell so good.
It's
That's
Dove
his scent.
body wash.
Not sponsored, but please.
Okay, Dove body wash smells good.
It does.
I have peony rose. That's
yeah,
nice.
What'd
I
you
don't
call
need.
me?
I don't need anything else. Cologne is
just
too much.
natural.
And here's the other thing about cologne, right? Some people put on way too much. So when I hug you, I don't want to carry you
It's
throughout
like
the rest of the
weight.
night. Yeah. So lightly goes a long way. I want to be able to smell you and go, smells good.
I always smell
But I
like
don't-
coconut everywhere.
See? Oh, not everywhere. But I don't want to like lean to my left 5 hours later and go, yeah, I hugged so and so, so and so.
Unless
She's
it's
stayed with
Madonna,
me.
because I heard she smells really good.
I totally understand that. My exception would be my man's.
His manly. Yves Saint Laurent died of
Heart
brain
attack.
cancer.
Yes.
On June 1st, we're not celebrating it. It's just, this is fun. And June 1st, 2008 is when he passed at age 71 in Paris, France.
Of course.
Not
That
Texas.
makes sense.
Patty.
All of them were gay, most of them that we go down. So he was married to
Shocker.
Pierre Bergé, and they had a civil union just days before his death. You know he's taking all that money.
Whoa.
Oh, come on now. All right, next.
He was tortured in the army. He was in the Algerian army or something. He grew up, like, sexuality was a big problem. You know nothing about that. And then he went to the army, which was even worse back then, 60s or something. And he was tortured, and then he had to go to a mental institution, and they gave him electroshock therapy for his trauma from all of that. So he came out of electroshock therapy and created this empire. He also frequented Studio 54.
As ones would.
We're going to give you all the important facts about the designers.
Thanks, Reuters.
So next is great skirts. Halston.
Not Halsey.
Halston. He died day after my birthday, March 26, 1990.
You know you killed him.
We had to
Your
make
celebration had
had to make
fireworks
room.
and it exploded.
His cause of death is Kaposi's sarcoma.
Okay,
Okay, I don't know.
it's either a drag name or what'd you call me? Which way we going?
I think it's what you call me.
If you had,
for
you've
sure.
been to have several pointing at you. Is that
Yes.
rude? My mama said it was.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Okay, good. Well, I'll keep doing
It's
it.
rude.
If you had drag name, or no, you've done drag. I'm sure many times
I
you've
have.
gone through many drag names. Do you just
Yes.
have one? Have you? tested?
I have had 2 drag names.
Ooh.
I started out with the name Entendre.
Oh,
As in double?
Sure. But I actually took the name from another favorite movie of mine starring Miss Jennifer Lewis.
Oh, love her.
It's a mockumentary called Jackie's Back.
Ooh.
And her
Oh,
daughter
yes.
was named Entendre. And she always called her
Aw.
Entendre. And so
I love that.
I took that. And then my second drag name, Thomasina, was given to me
How
by
delicate.
Very delicate. Was given to me by Raven, the drag queen Raven. Yeah.
Raven's
Yeah,
wonderful.
Raven was with an agency that I was working with one time. So my drag name is Kaposi's sarcoma, and that's what
Fitting.
he died from.
So let's go
From
back to
HIV.
Halston in San Francisco at 57, too young Too young.
Yes, and he was with a Venezuelan called Victor Hugo, and they had a lot of drama in their relationship. Literally, his name was Victor Hugo, and they went to Studio. They went to Studio 54 all the time, so you can only imagine they're extra. And Halston was actually Halston, and he thought it would rhyme or it would sound more regal to call it to say Halston and just use it as one word. So that's Halston. We love a good Halston.
Tony can help us. How about you do this next one?
What am I doing?
Let's do this next one
You're
right here.
rating.
Oh,
I bet
Karl
you did not.
Lagerfeld.
Yes, he
Lagerfeld.
gets mentioned a lot.
Yes.
When did he die?
First of all, I would like to point out, you guys cannot see this, but they have the timestamp and when he was mentioned. So if you want to know in the movie The Devil Wears Prada when Karl Lagerfeld was mentioned, it's at 37 minutes and 20 seconds where Nigel says, like Lagerfeld, not like hobo.
That's one of the times.
I found that.
Yes.
He was mentioned many
I did
times.
my homework.
But it looks like
It
his.
was 3 a.m. last night.
Well, you gotta keep yourself occupied.
What's his death date?
His death date is February 19th, 2019.
Oh.
And his cause of death was complications related to prostate cancer.
Oh.
And
No.
the location
Get yourself checked.
was the American Hospital of Paris. This is why y'all wanted me to read this, because y'all don't know how to pronounce this word.
We left it to you.
And neither do I. See, they tried to set me up here on this podcast. And I'm not going to let them do it. Just know that it was an American Hospital of Paris.
Well, Karl Lagerfeld, he was.
Wait, okay, you got to try. Say it. Paris.
Oh, Julius Caesar.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like the Seine River
Seine.
Seine?
Yes.
I'm saying
Okay,
that
that's
so
my
wrong.
fault.
Yeah, so he died of AIDS, and he left his cat $1.5 million, which is the richest.
Now,
pet
what
at
is the
time.
cat going to do with $1.5 million?
That is an expensive pussy.
No. That's not an expensive pussy. Trust me, we know some of those. But
Why are you looking at me? I'm not mad at that,
I didn't
though.
even do the look at
I'm
you.
not mad at that, though. Hey. Now that's crap.
And he may have lied about his age. So we weren't sure if he died at 85.
Doesn't
His
matter.
whole life he was, Coco Chanel.
oh
Coco
no,
Chanel,
not the
the
little
founder-
back dress.
The founder of Chanel.
Heart attack.
Oh no.
I don't know why.
It's for some reason you love to really accent and articulate the cause of death.
The final curtain call.
Wow.
Fascinating.
Heart attack.
We all going out. So you might as well enjoy it.
It's
I
a fact
guess
of
so.
life, and we want to accept it as part of the conversation. We're not celebrating,
Right.
but he says he really enunciates, doesn't he? He's
He
really excited
does.
about it.
He really does.
I'll do the day like that.
Good.
January 10th, 1971.
Before any
Back
of us
to you,
were born.
Tom.
We were twinkles. We weren't even twinkles in our parents' eyes.
Coco Chanel died at 87 years old at the Ritz, Paris, in Paris, France.
You know what? They say Paris is the city for love and romance. This sounds like the city for death.
Yeah.
Well, she was bisexual and a Nazi spy, allegedly.
Wow.
But very documented.
Bringing out the facts.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Allegedly, don't sue us.
There's so much more about her, but I always try to find a little interesting thing. We love the Coco. We love the Chanel.
We do love the cocoa.
This is the best part.
Oh.
Okay, so you're talking about the end of the life, right? It was an interesting death. I am going to bring this up because it was a very interesting death because she was a Nazi spy.
Oh.
And she did her final walk with her friend outside the Claudine or something, Claude. And then she came inside and her last words were to her maid. And she says, "You see, this is how you die."
And then she died?
Heart attack.
Wow.
Was she
So we
poisoned?
don't know, honey. That's what they say. So either way, she dead. I mean, that's just it happened. I mean, we think.
That's shady.
Christian Dior.
I'm gonna do
you
one.
want a roller coaster today.
Let me try. Christian Dior. Christian Dior died October 21st, 1957. 24th, 1957.
Heart attack.
Okay. Why you gotta take it from me? I was gonna try to nicen it up, and he enunciation to hear.
She's got some things to say about this. Heart attack.
And now you're seeking me with the location. Montecatini, Italy.
Yes. Yes.
Monte
I'll have that
Montecatini.
with bolognese sauce, please.
He was 52. Was he really? He's gay, but was he closeted? I mean, it's 57.
Yeah, he was closeted.
You had to be, right?
Everybody
But his
was
favorite
closeted.
number was 8.
Oh, so he was a crazy. He had a favorite number.
He opened up his fashion line on October 8th. He planned everything around numerology.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't mean
I
to
know
get
you're
your-
obsessed with this thing about Dior. Something about his
Madame
fortune teller.
𝘍𝘳𝘰𝘮 was his fortune teller or his psychic that he went to, started when he was 14. And she would tell him certain things, and he would base every movement that he made off of her fortune telling, which is kind of witchy, and people do that in Hollywood. And she told him not to go to 𝘞𝘩𝘰𝘮, the pasta in Italy, because he was going to die. And he did, and he died.
Oh no.
Very well-known story. I like the paranormal stuff involved in that.
Well, what if he had listened? He'd been listening this whole time.
I think
Yeah. So what?
here's the thing, though.
So what's the? What do you think the tea is on that then? If he didn't listen, was it?
He was perfectly healthy, and there was skepticism around how he had the heart attack. It could have been most likely natural causes. He choked on a fish bone. I've heard he was having a sexual experience.
You
and then
just
he had
called
a
her a
heart attack.
witch. You're calling her a witch, aren't you?
With her, but I'm just saying. So
Let-
how he had the
Just
heart
know
attack?
I didn't do it.
Wait,
He was
I
in
just
a
gotta
spa.
bless this room again. Gotta bless this
Just
room.
He
know
was
I
in a
do it.
spa when it happened. Okay. So, but then there's also things that he was associated with. You never know. You know, when there's a sudden
never
heart
know.
attack,
You
you're
never
wondering,
know.
you know,
Let me run through
79.
the Fendies.
Yep.
Let me run through the
She
Fendies
got the
before
Fendies.
we get sued by that fortune teller woman's
Listen,
family.
if y'all sue, don't sue me. My name ain't, or photo is not over there.
My
I
centipede head is ready for you.
I am simply a guest. My name is Ben, and I ain't in it.
Real quick question. If you had to choose how you went.
How I went? In my sleep.
Oh,
Me too. Yeah.
peacefully.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I rather go
During a
go
dream,
peacefully.
not a nightmare.
Yes, yes. If I had to choose.
I think that's the way to go. I like to say something exciting, but no. Just
Not
No.
drowning.
peacefully, like knowing I'm on my way out. You know, I go, okay.
Oh, I don't want to know.
I got one real quick, sort of. So my maternal grandmother, she died in 2020, in January, before all the
Before all
madness.
the COVID.
Before all the COVID. And she knew she was leaving. My mom was her caretaker. She had a stroke. And it was in the afternoon. And she just, sometime in the afternoon, 2 of my cousins were hanging out there. My brother was there. My mom was there. She called her in the room. She couldn't really talk very well. And she said she was hitting her chest. She was pointing up and out the door. And she was waving bye. For about
Let me
30
let it
minutes.
go.
She said bye to all of them. She kissed her. And she said bye to all of them, and she was going up, and my mom understood, oh, she's gone, and she took her last breath.
She's very connected.
She knew. That's
Yeah.
how I want to go.
Yeah,
I
she's
know
very
I'm
connected.
walking out the door.
Because
You
we
want
do
to
decide.
signal everybody.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, and I know I'm leaving. But she was like, as if she was gonna catching a taxi. Like, I gotta go.
Oh.
Animals
she
do
could-
it.
this
They
time,
know when it's
my
going to happen.
husband's waiting, y'all. I'm done
Yeah.
with y'all.
Yeah, D-O-N.
I'm going to
So,
be him
that's
in the
me.
next life.
So
That's
a
a
few
good
more.
story.
Oh, well,
That's
thank
I
you.
love
So a
that. Thank you for
few-
sharing that about your grandma.
welcome.
What
So
do you
a
call
few-
your grandma? Nani? What do you
No,
call
her name is Virginia. So we would call her in Mexican culture. Sometimes you call them Mama and their name. So I would call her Mama Virginia. But since I was the
Virginia.
firstborn, I couldn't say Virginia, so I said Iña. So she was stuck. Poem was stuck with Mama Iña. It made no sense.
My Aunt Virginia couldn't hear out of her right ear, so I would always call her Aunt Vagina. And still, she's 10003.
Do you
She's
have an
going to be
Aunt Virginia?
104.
No, I don't.
I still say Aunt Vagina.
You're
It's
sick.
awful.
Well, let's get back to the
She's
few.
Polish.
We have a few more here. So we have from the Fendi family. There's apparently like 5 sisters. So 2 of them have passed away. Carla Fendi and Franca Fendi. Carla, June 19th,
I'm offended.
2017. You're offended. Some prolonged illness. She died in Rome at 79. And then Franca died in 2022, October 5th.
That's my ex-boyfriend's birthday. He was in jail.
Is it?
Yeah.
I feel like anything you say should start off with fun fact,
Yeah.
and then you should insert thing here.
I feel like she should insert
Fact
fun
that's going to
fact.
make you squirm.
I think you should insert fun fact for sure. You like to insert, so there you go. She also died in Rome, age 87.
Okay, someone not in Paris.
She loved
So-
to cook and loves
so,
horses
oh,
and
no.
art.
And
heard
I
that
would love. Okay, let's tell Tony do
Oh,
one.
is this another one?
See if you
know.
remember this one.
Listen, all the actors still kicking. They all went to Air One during the set.
Do you remember
during
that
the
one?
set?
But you know what? Once again, I want to point out that every time this laptop turns around, it is
Robert.
something that they cannot pronounce. And so then they want me
killing
to
me.
do it.
You're so good at it. I can help you. Okay, you know the scene. Let me help you. Giselle, you're playing Serena. They're talking about Andy. about getting glam. It's 𝘠𝘰𝘲𝘢. The
𝘠𝘰𝘲𝘢
𝘠𝘰𝘲𝘢 eyelash curler. Remember, she
Okay.
goes, she picked up a 𝘠𝘰𝘲𝘢 eyelash curler and says,
Oh,
"What
yes.
is this?" So that's
Got
who
it.
that is.
Okay. And
Japanese.
what is it again?
In the
person.
in
No,
the
no,
film,
the name.
𝘠𝘰𝘲𝘢.
Died December 29th, 2007, from pneumonia in Tokyo.
Tokyo.
At 79. Fun fact.
Oh,
Made Shirley MacLaine. Wait, what? She made
Yes,
Shirley
she did.
MacLaine Asian.
This is how he became
from
famous.
Geisha, only male in class of 130 in the 50s.
what?
That is how he became famous. Is he dressed Shirley MacLaine and made her Asian in the 60s.
Yeah.
That's
how
so
he made his mark. in the
racist.
industry.
He worked it. He's Japanese, so he worked. He's
Well,
like,
he got hired to do
all
the
right.
thing he was good at.
I also would like to point out as I'm looking at
There's
this,
diversity.
they no don't try to turn it around now. So with each of these facts, right? It's almost like they're writing a paper. So they have where they got the information from.
I like facts.
We're about to go through our sources.
When someone comes for me, I want to have the receipts.
I mean, I have not seen this since college, where I feel like there should be resources, and it's just like written down.
Let's do it. Let's do the fun fact, the quick run through the last.
Thierry
few.
Hermes, we've got mentioned in it. The one in the back of my closet, the ones from Hermes. January 10th, 1878. We just wanted to do the original Hermes. All the CEOs are dead too. That's 𝘞𝘩𝘰𝘮 de Saint-Paris, and I just read 1877 and. Not documented, 1878.
Well,
also,
let's just name them.
Oscar de la Renta
Name
would be
'em.
mad
Name
that
'em.
we don't
Name
say
'em.
Name them.
Oscar de la Renta. Mentioned several times. Cancer.
Yes.
And one honorable mention here. Here,
Oh,
this is for.
it's
you
back
can,
around to me.
You can read that one.
Vivian Westwood.
Yes, Emily Blunt
Most of
wore
it.
mostly Vivian Westwood, and she's passed away. So we wanted to
Yes.
mention
Emily Blunt
her.
has not passed away. She
Emily
put her
Blunt is
gum in
not
my
black.
hand
Yes.
last time I saw her.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
a long story.
That's
She's very
that's
sweet.
right.
And I was like, that's not your
Oh,
husband.
finally, when this laptop turned around, I actually knew how to pronounce the name.
So since we went through fashion, tell us who's your favorite designer besides Forever 21?
Oh,
Sponsor
Rocha
us.
is on there too, just so you know. No.
My favorite designer is actually a friend of mine, Sergio Hudson.
Hi, Sergio.
Tell us about Sergio. What do you like about him?
So Sergio, first of all, and maybe it's more so because I have a personal connection with Sergio. We're both from South Carolina.
Oh.
He also, before he became, so notable and dressed people like Beyonce and Michelle Obama and Jennifer Lopez, Lisa Rinna. I worked with him on a hair show that I was choreographing. He came in and not only did the wardrobe, but also did some of the makeup. And I just like, knowing that someone from South Carolina with a dream and watching his dream come true. He was on a TV show on Bravo. I believe it was called Fashion Rocks, and it was with Rihanna. And he came in on the latter part of the show.
Yes.
And he won the show.
I remembered that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
We should have
I
Sergio
dreamed a
on.
dream.
Yeah. So
That's amazing.
yeah. So shout out to Sergio.
Hi,
Shout out to
Serge.
Sergio.
Yeah.
Come on the podcast. He's still alive.
He is.
Okay.
Yes, we'll have him to talk
He can still come
about
up.
his
still
favorite
alive.
fashion moments.
Yeah.
We invited all these people who have passed to the podcast, but none of them got back. None of the reps did. And there is parking that's validated in the building, so you can come midway through. We're almost done, but
Well,
offer extended.
we got to keep blessing the room. Tony, we do need to know. So, we talked about some of your favorite scenes, but tell us more about why is this your favorite movie? Like when you first saw it, how did you feel? How old were you? A baby, but
I don't remember when I first saw it, but I realize whenever it's on or whenever it's an option on the plane, I always watch it.
Oh, on the plane.
And I quote it throughout my life all the time. My friend Mark and I, we always Cleary.
Oh.
We always he was like, Mark, did I sleep with him last night?
I'm simple.
But we always quoted. In fact, for Mark's birthday, I did that whole monologue. I typed that whole monologue, but did it for him.
Oh,
out.
that's so nice.
So
You can do good
we're
friend.
always quoting it. So
I love my job. I love my job. I love
Yes,
my job.
yes. So, and anytime we call each other, I'm always like, "There you are, Emily. How many times do I have to scream your name?" That's usually how we start our conversations. But it's just a fun movie. I think there's definitely a lot of messages in there that you can take from, but it's just a fun movie to watch. And Miranda Priestley, I mean, what a character.
I know.
So,
Do you still see movies in the theater?
I do actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
I bet
do.
you went to Wicked and dressed up.
I went to Wicked. I did not dress up. I did see it 3 times, but there's something about seeing movies in the theater. I mean, it feels like a pastime, but I think you get
It's
a lot
not.
from seeing it in the
This
theater.
is why we had you on.
Yeah.
You get the full cinematic experience.
Yeah.
Monique, I
yeah.
wanna ask
I
him-
love how you get when you're talking about how you connect with the film. There's almost like the word therapy wants to come out.
Yeah.
It's like it's therapeutic. Like we're
is.
living our emotions through these characters, and you're connecting with your friend through quotes from a movie,
Yeah,
from shady quotes.
exactly.
But you're like
No, it's
bonding
art.
through
Yeah.
that.
It's art.
Yeah.
Not imitates life. Art it becomes your reality.
It can.
I want to
Sure.
hear one of your favorite lines that you do have memorized. Then that you tell him.
Oh, one of my favorite lines.
Tell it to her.
Oh my
is
goodness.
she?
Tell it to right here that camera.
Is the one she's dead?
Take your singer.
Who's dead?
There's so many.
There is so many.
It's there's times where it's like, by all means, move at a glacier pace. You know how much that thrills me.
I love that, and I'm also looking at her. I was actually watching Andy fumble, and I'm like, you're kind of going slow.
Yeah,
girl.
yeah.
You're
yeah.
going-
It's
like this one, like I know,
Pick up the pace.
I know you're thinking about that guy, but
And then when she
like,
finally hands her the thing, she's like,
she didn't care.
Oh no, that whole thing was just.
she goes like this, and she puts it like a cup,
And then
like
it's
she's
like,
holding horse balls.
Hello.
And before we go, Tony,
Yes.
what is on your tombstone?
What is on my tombstone?
Ooh.
Nothing. Nothing.
You would have
Your
nothing.
ashes, no
Nothing.
A
tombstone.
photograph.
Well,
a
because-
death tape, nothing.
Because I wouldn't be buried. I'd be cremated.
That's right.
Yeah.
She
So
wouldn't.
there-
Okay.
Or you know what? If
you had
I-
to.
it would be one of two things. She gone. Or did you hear about Tony?
Did you?
Dead.
Dead.
Yeah. One
Period.
of two things.
Period.
Yeah.
She gone.
She already there.
And Monique, what's on your tombstone?
He took the good ones.
That's a good line
He
for
took
you.
the good
No,
ones.
literally what you just said.
Oh.
5 minutes.
Oh.
He took the good ones.
He took the good. Oh.
I mean, it
That's all it
resonated
took.
with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all he
That's
took.
all it took. Okay, Ben. Well, okay. What's
the
on your
Low
tombstone?
clearance, head in early. I saw that sign when I was coming in, and I was like,
It feels very appropriate.
It
It
feels-
feels very
he's
appropriate.
shaking his head.
Yeah.
It feels right.
Low clearance, head in early.
This
Um,
is good. Tony,
Yes.
please
Yes.
tell us. We love having you on.
Yes.
Please tell everyone where else we can see you and what you have coming up next.
Coming up next, I am starring in a new show on Out TV called Drag House Rules. It is out today, so make sure you go to outtv.com
It is
and check it
today.
out. Yes, it is a doozy of a show. It's starring myself and 7 iconic queens from a little show called RuPaul's Drag Race.
Little show.
And let's just say it's insane and chaos ensues. So you should check it out.
Can you name any of the queens? that are in
Yes,
it?
Jujubee, Silky 𝘞𝘢𝘐,
Love,
Tammy
love,
Brown,
love.
Laganja Estranja,
Oh.
Bitch Puddin' from Dragula.
Oh, I don't know her.
I like how you say
yeah,
it.
and
Many others.
oh, are we done?
Many others.
Oh, sorry.
No.
I thought you were
Amongst
like,
others.
please wrap this up.
No.
I was like, oh,
favorite
girl,
drag
y'all done
queen."
going over time because I ain't paying for it. But yes,
No,
but
we're
those are all the iconic queens that are going to be on the show.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. And you are the host
Yes.
of the show.
We will post
Yes.
all those links in our
Yes.
bio everywhere that you can see it. And you send us little clips and we'll.
Yes, yes.
them on.
And we're on Out TV. Do you want to help us do our social media shout outs, what have yous?
We're
Will you
at
help
Who's
us out?
Dead
Oh,
Pod.
sure.
Who's Dead Pod.
We're at Who's Dead Pod.
You can find all the dead people
She
at-
gone.
at She Gone if you want to check them out on all social media platforms,
And
go
you.
to Who's Dead Pod and me, because I'm here today. I ain't dead, but I'm here.
And on
We
all
love him.
the yes, we do love him. Thank you so much for coming with it. We appreciate you. And all the podcast platforms, you can actually type in Tony Moore's name because he will pop up on Who's Dead from your favorite movie? ? Sometimes italicized. That's how you can find us. Spotify, everywhere. We got it all.
She gone.
She gone. And make sure you leave us a 5-star review because that's what keeps us alive. Tell your mama how much you love us and
Stay not dead.
Bye.